Don't give a. I be bored responding, needing something to do. I done worked out 2 hours straight. The rest of my day is free. I'm on an all fruit damn detox. I don't give. I'm bored.
She said, you ain't have a fight in recent times. You're really not ready for this work. And she said, it's natural. She don't have to.
Keep him wrapped around her finger. But this time, Papoose wasn't having it. After months of sneaking around with one of Papoose's own protégés, Remy Ma is finally realizing she made a huge mistake. She thought she could move on like nothing ever happened. But now, reality is hitting hard. Papoose has officially moved on, and his new lady, Claressa Shields, isn't here for the drama. Remy might have assumed she could slide back in whenever she wanted, but Claressa is making sure that never happens. She just went off, exposing Remy's sneaky behavior, seductive tactics, and even some inappropriate messages she allegedly sent to Papoose behind the scenes. So, what's Remy's real motive? Does she actually want Papoose back? Or is she just trying to destroy his new relationship out of spite? Now, if you're wondering why Remy is so bothered by Claressa, let's break it down. Claressa isn't just some random Instagram model that rappers chase when they're newly single. She's a world champion boxer with a thriving career, financial stability, and the kind of status that matches Papoose's own. And that's exactly what's making Remy lose it. Remy probably thought Papoose would always be there, waiting for her. She wasn't even sweating the divorce at first because, for years, Papoose was all about her. When she was locked up, he held her down without hesitation. He was so devoted that he even got into trouble trying to sneak her a skeleton key in prison. He married her while she was still behind bars, stayed faithful, and never once got caught up in any scandals. If that's not loyalty, then what is? But Remy got too comfortable. She underestimated Papoose's patience and pushed things too far. She thought she could cheat and still have him waiting in the wings. But this time, Papoose was done. He had finally had enough, and now Remy is realizing, maybe a little too late, that she fumbled the one person who truly had her back. She thought he'd be waiting around, but Papoose hit her with the ultimate plot twist. Instead of sulking over the betrayal, he cut ties and moved on. And not just with anyone, but with Claressa Shields. And let's be real, Claressa is not the type of woman to play games with. At first, people assumed Papoose would keep his next, move private. After all, he had just ended a long-term relationship with Remy, and their love story had been seen as a symbol of black love in Hollywood for years. No one expected him to jump into another public relationship so soon. But Papoose made it crystal clear that he was done looking back and had no issue showing the world that he had moved forward. And let's talk about who he's with now, because Claressa Shields is a powerhouse. She's not some random social media influencer or industry groupie. She's one of the most dominant female boxers and mixed martial artists of all time. She's the only boxer, male or female, to hold all 4 major world titles in 3 different weight classes. On top of that, she's a 5-division world champion and ranked as the best female fighter by ESPN. She's young, wealthy, accomplished, and undeniably impressive. Now Remy can't even try to claim that Papoose downgraded, and that's what's really eating her up. She wanted to be able to dismiss his new relationship, but with Claressa, that's impossible. She's a force to be reckoned with, and Remy knows it. That's not to say Remy is irrelevant. She was once a respected rapper and is still doing her thing. But when you put her next to Claressa, the comparison isn't in her favor. And let's not forget how this all started. Remy didn't lose Papoose because the love faded. She cheated. And not just with anyone, but with Easy the block captain, one of Papoose's own protégés. Now she has to sit back and watch him thrive with another woman, and it's tearing her apart.
Like, I don't give a fuck if you this. Just tell me stop screwing the business. If you found out you was in the help, that could really ruin your image. We're talking Barack and Michelle, Pap and Rim. It's us. Y'all the poster child symbol for black love. Every interview, he showed his admiration and tell the world how he think his woman the greatest. That nigga held you down in prison for 6 years. I was not surprised.
Papoose had finally reached his breaking point. When he crossed paths with Easy, he didn't hesitate. He knocked him out cold. That was the moment he was completely done with Remy, even if she didn't realize it yet. For months, Remy kept denying the affair, pretending everything was fine, and insisting that people were just making up rumors for drama. But by then, Papoose had already checked out. And when he made it known that he had moved on with Claressa, that was the final straw. What's wild is that Papoose never once publicly dragged Remy. He didn't call her out, didn't accuse her of cheating in interviews, and never tried to embarrass her. He handled everything with maturity and respect. But Remy, she couldn't stand seeing him happy with another woman, especially Claressa. Instead of accepting the loss and moving on, she went into full petty mode, trying to sabotage their relationship on social media. And her timing, highly suspicious. Just as Claressa was about to celebrate a huge career milestone, a biopic about her life starring Ryan Destiny and other big names, Remy conveniently had a public meltdown. Fans couldn't help but notice that her outburst came right before the movie's release. Coincidence? Not likely. It screamed jealousy. It screamed bitter ex-wife energy. But Remy didn't stop at throwing shade. She went straight for the jugular. She leaked private messages between Claressa and Papoose, trying to make it seem like Claressa had been sneaking around with him before the divorce was finalized. In the messages, Claressa had written something about accountability, saying that if Papoose was still legally married, he should at least communicate properly, instead of disappearing. While the texts suggested that Claressa was calling Papoose out for moving a little messy, Remy twisted it to fit her own narrative. She clowned Claressa, posting on Instagram that Papoose had fallen asleep on the phone with Claressa while still living in her house. She even mocked Claressa, saying that the so-called world champion boxer got scared and hung up when she heard her voice, and she didn't stop there. Remy kept going, dragging Claressa and her PR team, accusing them of planting fake stories to make her look bad. She was on a mission to stir up as much chaos as possible, but the question remains. Was it about getting Papoose back, or was it just about making sure he couldn't be happy without her? Remy wasn't holding back. She accused Claressa Shields and her PR team of spreading fake stories to make her look bad while painting Papoose as some flawless man who could do no wrong. She wrote, "This lady Claressa Shields and that sorry publicity team have been putting out lies about me every day to make him look like some kind of saint. For too long, I begged Pap to speak up and shut down the false narrative, but he kept telling me to stay quiet. Well, P, I'm done being silent." Then, she took things even further with a brutal jab. She claimed, "Oh, and he told me he would never sleep with you because you're ugly. But don't worry, I saw everything. Now the world will see it too since you're so tough, boo." The bitterness was real. Remy was clearly on a mission to cause as much drama as possible, and she wasn't slowing down. She escalated things by leaking even more texts, this time showing Claressa in full panic mode after realizing she was being dragged online. According to the messages, Claressa was frantically messaging Papoose, begging him to step in and clear things up. She allegedly wrote, "I know you hate internet drama, but you need to do something today about this girl. I can't be up here exposing her, etc. before December 25th. The movie is coming out. Did you get your other phone yet? Don't worry, I'm not stressing over anything she says or posts." Fans quickly caught on. December 25th was the premiere date for Claressa's big movie, meaning she needed her public image to stay spotless. And it definitely seemed like Remy was using that against her. But Remy wasn't done. She hit back hard, posting, "Papoose, you're a fool. Hey, Miss Shields, he took your advice, but not before I got screenshots of y'all's conversation." Then, she dropped another bomb, saying, "Let's talk about how he was trying to get me arrested. The same woman who stayed loyal for 17 years while he was out here scheming with his side chicks to take me down." She kept the attacks coming, adding, "This is the same woman I could have exposed a long time ago using my own platform, but I didn't. Oh, and I have all the pictures and messages from the women he was messing with while I was locked up. And let's not forget, he's about to start claiming he wrote my rhymes. Imagine that." Then, she threw out another shocking claim, hinting that if any private footage of her ever leaked, Papoose would be the one behind it. She alleged that he had already threatened to release something, but it wasn't just Papoose in her line of fire. Remy went after Claressa too. She exposed more messages that made it look like Claressa was practically begging Papoose for basic relationship attention, trying to paint her as desperate. Remy wasn't holding anything back, and it was clear she was out to destroy both of them. Claressa allegedly texted that she wasn't happy but would stop pushing the issue because she didn't want to add more stress. She expressed frustration, saying, "I'm done talking since you're not really hearing me. But thanks for your honesty. That's always the best approach. You're going to do whatever you want anyway, so I won't say anything else." She then vented about feeling unappreciated, saying, "If I ask for gifts, I'm tripping. If I say I like flowers, I'm tripping. If I want quality time, I'm tripping. I don't even know how to feel anymore. I'm just lying here feeling stupid." Meanwhile, Remy was having a field day dragging Claressa. She mocked her, saying, "Hey, Miss Shields, I'm a one-boyfriend woman, just like I was a one-husband woman. And I'm a good woman at that, which is why men don't just leave me behind. Oh, and just so you know, he's never going to buy you anything. You know why? Because he thinks he's the prize. He's a taker, not a giver. Plus, I'm the one with the money." Then, she really let loose, adding, "Please stop playing with me because I'm not the enemy you want. I'm not even mad. Actually, I'm very happy, and that's why your boyfriend is upset. Oh, and I know you said you feel stupid, but girl, you look stupid too." Remy was going all in, and it got so bad that Papoose himself had to step in to defend Claressa. He wasn't about to let Remy continue unchecked. He fired back, calling her out for being bitter over their breakup, despite the fact that she was the one who allegedly cheated, not just with Easy the Block captain, but with multiple other men. So, what do you think? Is Remy really out here playing dirty, trying to get Papoose back? Or is Claressa just being extra? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the next video.